Welcome to Plant City Bonsai. I'm Steve Craddy, and today we're doing our Summer 23 video, and I'm so excited about it because we have so many items and trees, cool trees to look at, and so let's go look at them. Our buying for year 23 started very early. We traveled to California, one of my favorite areas to go to purchase bonsai specimens, and it was certainly even better than average, and just so excited about all the beautiful specimens we purchased, and they're over there in that Japanese garden room, so let's go check them out. This tree that I'm going to talk about right now was one of our main subjects to purchase in California. There's something about these trees. They're Kikuchi Shimpaku, and they were done by the artist Matsuru Ishii, and he died several years ago. His son carries the tradition on, and instead of buying just like a dozen, which is what my typical purchase would be for this room, I actually bought 103 of them, and I'm so excited about it, and they're all gorgeous. Another prime example of what Ishii is noted for over the decades is, his trees are, he doesn't release them till they're extremely old trees. And this one here is a great example of what would be make the ultimate literati style. And I've got this oversized pot. It's kind of an oval. This will end up in a round pot, much, much smaller. It's just going to be unbelievable, but believable, because they're easy to take care of. So this tree here kind of drives me crazy, and several of my clients who actually we've gotten some advice on. We do kind of a slingshot here. So I feel like a great way to eliminate that effect is to let this be the tree. There's all kinds of wiring opportunities. So this just leads into a sparsely foliated Shimpaku. This is actually Itogawa. Very, very in demand now. So I love it. We have a very good number of the Kikuchi Shimpaku, some Itogawa, but they're in raw form, which over the years, I think people have enjoyed, my clients have enjoyed doing the final styling, picking the final pot. So I will always try to have a good number of pre-bonsai, and these are the ultimate exciting trees to start out with for pre-bonsai. This is a great example of a Kikuchi Shimpaku taken from raw form to its first ceramic pot, and even without getting in there doing the detailed wiring and further pruning, it's an amazing tree. It shows its age very well, and it's a great one to develop into a best of a collection specimen. We're right outside the Japanese garden, and wanted to talk about these corticosa, cork bark black pines. You don't see very many of these around. I have some excellent examples. This is actually one that I bought in California along with the Kikuchi Shimpaku. Couldn't pass this one up. It's a cork bark done by Mr. Ishii, and he grew it for 40 years. And so I got some pretty good details on this. And what I like about it is that it's been worked on a lot, and the needle length is very, very good. You don't see that very often. It's like typical length is like the ones I'm about to talk about. But anyway, had that tree, and it's a prize. I have some other examples of our cork bark Japanese black pines. I've always found them very intriguing. They're fairly on the delicate side, but there's just something about them. They're just they're unbelievable, and so glad to have a few to sell this season. These are actually the ones I'm showing now are actually ones that were grown locally in Atlanta. So the gentleman does a great job, and I will defend this. He actually gives you the exact variety, that's super special. This is a small one here. This would be the it's good and it's beginning to cork up nicely. One of the more reasonable ones. This one here is a brocade, and it's just deadly cool. And then of course there's the big guy, and corked up beautifully, ready to enjoy. I would like to take this time to introduce a friend. He's also works here, valuable worker. It produces some of the most beautiful bonsai pots. They're high fired, and he's already in just the first couple of years of actually doing this. He's fine tuning them to where they're getting great response. So I'm happy for him. I look forward to seeing what holds in the future. We're about to enter our semi-shady room, where we have it filled with wonderful, wonderful plant materials. Cannot wait to show you this first group. While in California, I attended the California Shohin Convention. One of my favorite things to do in California, and this was the year they were doing it. They do it every other year, so it's just a wonderful exposure to lots of trees fitting into the Shohin size group. And this trip was certainly one of the most exciting. I buy from several different artists. Mainly it's two artists, but just to kind of point out some of their artwork. This tree right here, for instance, very old Shimpaku. It's just unbelievable. And what's really nice about these, they're tiny trees, but they are easy to care for. You just have to learn the tree, and it's just a few things you do. The movement of that tree there that's probably 20 years old just blows me away. And this one up here, more traditional in style, but still a very old tree. And I just am so tickled that it was a successful buy for us. And we have several here to choose from also. This one here, I didn't know which way to display it, there or there. It's equally cool either side. I like the other side. Yeah, that's my favorite side. Another one showing a lot of the shari. That's a honey of a tree. And then the sizes can go down from there to ones that are, 3 and 4 inches tall. They're still old trees. Here's an upright cascade. I love you see very few upright cascade trees. This is a great example. I love all of them. This one here is classic design, and this tree could be up to 30 years. The artists who do these trees, they're not excited to just put trees out there and sell them. You cannot buy any of this artist's trees until he says they are ready, and that's when he'll show up at this show. And you won't see them if they're not developed yet. Awesome tree. And I can't wait to go 2 years back. One more. This is a little one. So this one's a young tree. This one's probably about under 20 years. It's still very cool. So thanks for letting me show these to you. I have a very unusual group of azaleas to speak about on this video. I'm very excited about these because they're two of my favorite varieties, and these are called Rukazan. These are done in raw form, which gives you the bonsai enthusiast an opportunity to finish these. Very easy to root. Rukazan, I think across the board, gets more people's attention because it's an easy one to propagate, and it has a perfect size bloom. It's all about the bloom. And so very excited to have these. The next group is a group of exposed root appearing azaleas. And the first question I'm always asked when people come in, how did they do it? And I don't do a very good explanation of how that happens. But thank goodness the Japanese do it. These just recently were released, and I'm just tickled to have these. Have several of them also. I need or want to mention about these fabulous plantings of Sarissa. A good friend of mine, Mr. Dan Nass, did these three plantings, and he was very active in bonsai his whole life, and he actually brought one of these to one of our bonsai shows here at the nursery, and it won first prize. So I think that's pretty cool for the Sarissa to be able to outdo the Shimpakus and huge black pines. But he did it. He did it. But anyway, he's sort of retired now, and so I was able to purchase these three plantings. I'm excited to have them. Sarissa, if you don't know what it is a tropical or subtropical, but protected in the right way, they can actually live through most Georgia winters. That would not include this past one we had, but a typical Georgia winter, they'll flourish. But he just did a great job with these. That's why I wanted to add this to the video. His stone placements, the trees. It's just, it all kind of works. And plus you get the added bonus of beautiful blooms several times a year. Proud to have them. Wanted to mention one last group of trees, and that's the redwood single trunks, and we also have the forest. And we have some very nice offerings with the redwoods, and I'm excited about that because they look great in this hot season. They look awesome. And so at this time I'd like to thank you for taking the time to view this video, and we look forward to hearing from you very soon. Hopefully you can come to the nursery. It's well worth, if you can make it, it's well worth the drive to see us this year. So thank you.
I like it.
Is that okay?
Yeah.